Oh shit, I found a thing! Ladies and gentlemen, there is a box. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing here is a big part of my childhood. Back when I was an itsy bitsy tiny whiny mini winny little child, I had several things. I had Wooden Railway, a little bit of Trackmaster, lots of miscellaneous toys that even I don't remember, and these things. Little Lionel, or Little Lions, RC trains. Now, I know probably a fair few of you haven't heard of these things, but I don't blame you. They weren't around for very long. So what I have here might be worth something in a couple years as well, which might help me a little bit, but at the same time I might keep them for, you know, nostalgia value. But with that being said, let me open this up so I can show you what my childhood was like. And with that seal broken, let's get into it. Okay, so obviously since this is a big tub, I'm filming this in my living room. It's a big open space, I can pull everything out. But yeah, so let's see what we got here. So I haven't touched these things in well over 10 years. So some of this stuff might be, you know, some of this stuff might be kind of a surprise to me. So let's just, we got a crane. I guess it's modeled off their gantry crane. You get a little lever, it controls the arm. So as far as I remember, the reason I have two of them, as far as I remember, I got a set, and my brother got a set, and these were like the cheapest Lionel train sets you could get at the time. So we got these and we were happy, and honestly, I'm kind of glad we were as well, because these are great. So there are duplicates of a lot of things in here, but if there are, I'll probably just end up skipping over them. So like with these two cranes, I'll just put one off to the side as soon as I find it. But here's a crane that came with one of the sets. It's blue, it swivels, trains pass under it. So it's pretty standard stuff. Got a lot of track in here, and I think that's what they focused on the most, was the track. So this thing was cool. So you had this bucket thing right there, and I always broke it off, but it would slide down like that, stop, and then you flip it over and it would fall into the little gondola car. So that was pretty cool. There's a lot of these in here. These are trestle and track supports. It's basically what they are. This stuff, it feels, you know, it looks more interesting than it actually is, because this is all just like kids, it's just a kid's toy. Let me dig out all the stuff that's, you know, miscellaneous and junk. Oh yeah, and here's another thing you can do. You have the option to make a bridge. Now, what I believe this is based on is the Hellgate bridge that Lionel had for the longest time, and it was so cool. Got some more supports down at the bottom. And, okay, yeah, all right, I see them now. So now we can get into the nitty gritty of these things. So you have the tiny little Lionel Lines caboose, and tell you what though, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the Wooden Railway, like the Sodor Line caboose, which is kind of funny. It's got the two wheels, it's solid red. The wheels swivel though, which I completely forgot about. I thought they were just stationary. And the gondola, the little gondola car that came with the set, same bogie setup, basically verbatim. Is green. That's it. These things are so simple. It's not like I'm reviewing a $9,000 brass model here. These are the tenders that came with them, and from what I know, these are like shrink molds of the Polar Express tender, of the same, obviously of the same company, because Lionel, they reused a lot of molds and stuff, so this is like shrunk down and skinnied up, so it would fit on two bogies and still be able to be pulled behind the engine. Speaking of which, this is the powerhouse himself. It's a tiny little Berkshire shrink down. These things are, man, dude, this is super friggin' nostalgic, man. I miss this, man. This had an interesting setup to it. So mini wheels were blind and they moved up and down. I don't know how well you can see it, but it hinged on the front wheel and the back wheel being the driving wheel. This middle wheel didn't do anything. It was there for aesthetics and nothing else. And what I love about this setup and the way they did this is if you look at the bottom of the driving wheels, it has a cog. So it's kind of like the Col de Fel Railway in a way, because the cog locks onto the rack rail on the tracks, and that's what moves it forward. It moves by itself, but you see my point. It doesn't even have rubber traction tires. The little grooves in there are like built into the wheel. Skim by those real quick. The controllers of these things are cool. I mean, it's definitely RC. I mean, what else can you say? It had sound effects. I believe it had sound effects. It looks like where the speakers are. And it also had a little buffer piece. It had slope down onto the carpet, so it's kind of like the modern like Lego sets or some of the wooden railway stuff, or even Trackmaster, I guess, is a better example. It had a switch that worked too, which I loved. So you would turn that, and the little arm would move, and that's it. This is what it is. Also came with these, make a little girder bridge out of it, which was also really cool. But yeah, as far as I know, other than these girder bridge pieces, everything else is just duplicated. So I'm going to take all this stuff and set up a little layout and show you guys how this thing works and its absolute top speed, which, as far as I remember, wasn't very fast because, you know, again, children's toy, but we'll see. Give me a minute. Well, that's unfortunate. So I brought those two over here to see if it would fix this problem. It did nothing. The problem being, when I press this lever forward, it should move, right? It's dead. I mean, what did I expect? This stuff is over 10 years old, probably approaching 15, so it's not like it was going to work perfectly first try. However, it was nice to dig this stuff out and take a look at it again after so long and, you know, get myself reacquainted with all this stuff. If anything else comes up about this set, like if I find another engine, or I get these two to work, or I'm just going to sell them off, one of those three, then I'll let you guys know. Until then, though, this is Trinket Studios signing off. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!